Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us today. My name is Jessica Caphart. I am the Communications Manager with the Better Business Bureau serving Central Ohio. We're glad to have you all here. I hope everybody is staying safe and doing well. I know it's been a weird couple of weeks, so we're glad you could join us, and we want to make sure that we are providing as much information as we can to help you kind of navigate during these strange times. One way we're doing that is by hosting several webinars. We're glad that Josh is able to join us this afternoon as well. This webinar is going to be recorded. I just wanted to let you know. So if you need to reference back to it, you will get an email with the recording. But if you need to reference back to it afterwards, you can go to our website. It's trustlocal.org. And it's really kind of a one-stop shop of resources and webinars and information for businesses to help navigate through this weird and uncertain time. It also has a survey that we are asking businesses and consumers to fill out just to let us know what you're looking for, what your needs are, where you might need help, and then we can work to help our Central Ohio community in that way. So again, that is trustlocal.org. And we will house all of our webinars there. This one will be there as well. So with that, I want to introduce Josh Miller with Matchbox Limited. Josh is a great friend of BBB. He's a great resource, and I'm going to let him take it away and kind of tell you guys all about it. One quick thing I do want to mention, there should be a box for questions in the webinar bar. Please feel free to send those through. We will have various opportunities throughout the webinar to stop and ask your questions, so please go ahead and send them on through. And I'm going to go ahead and introduce Josh.
Hey, yeah, thanks so much. Appreciate it. Thanks for inviting me on here and giving me an opportunity to chat a little bit and kind of share with you guys my perspective on some of these things. So quick kind of introduction to me. Josh Miller, Matchbox Ltd is my company here in Columbus. We've been working with local businesses and kind of regional businesses for the last 6 or 7 years. We handle everything from event production to digital marketing and content creation. So we have clients that we organize festivals for. We have clients that we do small like educational and entertainment-based events like series for. And then we also, are doing a lot of ongoing marketing, whether that's content creation with video, photography, a little bit of design work, to running social media and email campaigns and things like that. So for me, I just kind of wanted to talk a little bit about what my perspective is and what I've been seeing lately, especially during these times where businesses are trying to figure out what to do, whether it's on their perspective of what I do with my business, how do I keep getting revenue and things like that, to how do I market and should I be marketing? So when the opportunity came up to do a webinar, I thought this would be a great topic, and especially kind of with what I was seeing just kind of in today's day and age with social media being so heavy and having a big influx and usage, since a lot of people are home now, trying to figure out stuff to do, trying to stay busy or get back to their what they call their normal, and go from there. So like Jess said, definitely want to get some questions in. So if anybody has any questions, please feel free to type those in there after each slide. Once I get done talking and babbling on, we'll pause it. If there's any questions, answer them. If there's not, we'll keep going. And I definitely want this to be a good way for everybody to get as many questions as they can out, because I know this is an important topic for business owners, and hopefully we can get through it together and come out stronger in the end. All right, so we'll get started. The idea for this is delivering value to your audience and creating engaging visuals that grab attention. Big thing with that was trying to figure out what does our messaging look like from a marketing standpoint, and how do we create that, right? We can't do events anymore in person, at least for right now, and we still want to be able to connect with our audience, at least hopefully we still want to, right? So getting into the kind of the swing of things, this is a little handmade typography piece I did, basically just after the kind of my experience from being online, seeing clients, seeing potential clients, seeing friends that are business owners around, and seeing that there were so many different businesses doing different things, right? Some are changing up their entire their services and their products, and some are changing up the way that they market, and some aren't doing anything at all. So I really wanted to kind of dive into that, think about that, and hopefully give you a few things, some new things to think about when it comes to your own business to stay connected with your audience, both your current and your future customers, and hopefully we can keep things going and keep things moving in the right direction. So first things up is how are we connecting with our audience, right? How do we keep the existing conversations in motion that we have with our current customers and clients? And how do we start those new conversations with our target market? What are your clients going through these days? I think this is such an important time to really have it dialed in of who is your target market, and who is that visual of who your client is. What are they doing these days? What kind of position are they in right now? And what's important to them, right? I've always been a huge believer in value based kind of marketing content, where you want to do a lot more than just say, hey, buy this product or hire me for this service and never talk to me unless there's some kind of exchange there. For me, it was always important to really build relationships, and I think with my business and with businesses of my peers, I'm reminded daily almost how important these relationships are. So I think right now in the time that we're in, it's super important to get a little bit, build a little bit more with those relationships that you do have, and make sure that you're not leaving your customers and your clients out to dry. You want to check in with them, even if it's just to see how they're doing and to make sure they're okay. But I think the important thing is to really step out of your position and step into their shoes and try to figure out what it is they're going through and what it is that's at top of mind for them in this day and age right now. So with that, once you can kind of figure out what your clients and your target market is kind of going through right now, and figuring out what's important to them, then it's time to figure out what can you do as a business to really add value to that, right? How do you go from just, hey, we're here, we don't just come and buy this product or this widget or whatever, but what can we do to help you and to make your life a little easier, that aligns with our brands, right? And we're seeing that with some companies. Some are doing really great jobs at it. Some just aren't really sure what to do. So that's kind of what we're going to be connected into and thinking about. And that's what I want you to kind of think about as well. Is really what can you do for your current and your future customers when it comes to just making their lives a little easier, whether that's their health and wellness, whether that's their family, or if that's if you're a B2B business and they're trying to figure out their business just as much as you are. All right, so next thing we'll kind of get into this, and then we'll take a break and see if there's any questions. And definitely, please remember in the little chat window, make sure you're typing in any questions that you have. And as you have them, once we break, anything that's in there, we'll stop and we'll talk about those. So I think a big important piece is in having that mentality and that mind state of getting into your customer's shoes is what are they doing these days, right? We know they're not going out on Friday nights to go to dinner. They're not going to any big in-person events. What's important to them? Are they trying to spend more time with family? Are they trying to get back to their normal? Are they trying to make sure that they're not falling off of some of those goals and those missions that they had set before all this stuff happened? And where are they working at? Are they at home? Are they still at the office, or are they unemployed and just focused on trying to get back to whether that's unemployment or trying to generate funds for the bills that they have to pay? Really think about where they're at, what they're doing, and what you can do to really add to that in a positive way. I think the big thing is this is a great opportunity to connect with our audience online. You've got a lot of people that are, it's like people are baking like crazy and trying to stay fit and stay active because you're walking so much less than you used to, because now you're not walking out to the car, going to the office, walking to lunch, wherever you are. Now we're in the house and parks are closed and playgrounds are closed. So not only are we as adults and business owners trying to make sure that we're still staying in motion, not only with our business, but physically and personally, but we're also, we got families to make sure that they're doing the same things as well. So all of those things are things you want to think about when it comes to what your messaging looks like and how you're going to be able to connect to your audience. All right, and got any questions or anything yet so far? You guys want me to keep going?
It doesn't look like we have any questions in so far, so I think we can keep on
Awesome.
going.
You got it. Sounds good. All right. So yeah. So next is examples, right? Like I'm sure everybody's been online checking out and kind of figuring out what are businesses doing, what are your competitors doing as with your own business, and what are businesses in our community doing, right? So just for me, kind of going through, I wanted to run through some examples that I've been seeing of some local Columbus-based businesses that are really doing some fun stuff and really showing firsthand how to connect with your audience, how to really build those relationships, whether it's from a service and product shift to bring in revenue, or whether that's just keeping conversations moving. If you guys are familiar with Fusion, the fast casual sushi place, when we think about Fusion, these days they're doing $1 free deliveries sometimes. They're delivering groceries, as well as doing I think I saw peanut butter and jelly rolls, right, for the kids for $1, because kids are home now, right? So when you think about Fusion doing something like that, what when they think about their target audience and their customers, right? What's important to them? Well, they want to eat healthy, clean, simple ingredients. So delivering fresh food and groceries is right up there with them, right? So it fits with Fusion, and they've got the the capabilities of being able to do that when it comes to handling delivery themselves. Another great example of using kind of what your business already has and kind of making use of your resources is Watershed Distillery. We know them as a great distillery here in Columbus, and they figure, hey, we've got a purpose right now. This doesn't exactly sound like we're making a different drink or anything, but we can use our equipment and our resources, utilize those to kind of help the bigger topic at hand, right? So they kind of put all their resources together and started producing I think tens of thousands of bottles of sanitizer. So that's Fusion and Watershed are perfect examples of utilizing what they have, what their resources are, and making a difference, in a positive way. Still being able to connect with their audience, still keeping that communication going, and for those two companies, it's a way to keep revenue coming in, right? Which I think at the end of the day is what every business needs to survive and grow. On the other side of things, though, you also have companies that maybe they're not able to, really kind of figure out a new way of doing business, but they still want to be able to connect with their audience. And Fox and the Snow Cafe, if you guys know them, I think their original location is over on 4th. Great place, super popular, always busy when you go in. It's a coffee shop, right? So you're not, some coffee shops we're seeing like Roosevelt are, selling bags of coffee and things like that for you to roast at home, or make coffee at home. But Fox and the Snow was like, hey, like we've got these products that people love and they really enjoy the experience and the great tasting food that they have when they visit us in person. How can we share a little bit of that quality food and a little bit of that unique experience with them while they're at home? So Fox and the Snow hopped on Instagram and shared their recipe for their famous biscuits. So now you've got these people posting online about, them trying to make the perfect Fox in the Snow cafe biscuit, and it's spreading around like crazy, right? So you've got everybody who's, trying, different things, and they're trying to figure out how to get them just right. Not only are they posting them and supporting Fox in the Snow and mentioning them, but then also now you've got their friends seeing it online. Oh, hey, did you see Sarah? She's trying to make these biscuits from Fox in the Snow Cafe. Next time they open, I haven't been there yet, but we got to go in there and try their biscuits, So even things like that, when maybe you're not able to have a product or a service that can change up and generate revenue. I think right now the important piece is how can we keep connecting with our audience, right? When it comes down, I got a few more here. Fleet Feet Columbus, running store here. They're using technology to basically take your shopping experience and make it virtual, right? So they're doing curbside pickup, they're doing delivery of their shoes and everything, but they're also giving you those important running shoe fitting processes available to you online, through your mobile device, which is a super important thing. Like everybody right now is really trying to figure out how can I stay healthy, both mentally and physically. And you've got runners all over the place. I'm going on my morning runs and I'm seeing runners all over the place. And it's great to see that people are still getting out to move, making sure that everybody's obviously staying safe and keeping their distance. But at the end of the day, like, you've got to keep moving, you've got to stay in shape, and you've got to keep that going. And a company like Fleet Feet is helping to keep their business there and keep generating revenue, while giving people that peace of mind of being able to do those things safely and from the comfort of their own home. Thinking about the when it comes to like the health and fitness piece, System of Strength is a very like kind of diehard. They've got like a big following of members who go into their facility, and they're doing weekly fitness classes. And I remember my wife and I were driving to get some food on Fifth Avenue here in Grandview the other day, right before, I think it was right before, they called the stay at home order, and there was this line outside of the Grandview System of Strength wrapped around the parking lot, and we had no idea what was going on. And so I get home, check social media, and I come to find out that System of Strength did this big equipment sale. So that way people can use what they're used to using when they're in the classes in person, for their digital classes that they had. So System of Strength had already had a like an online membership piece where you can they record their fitness classes and high quality video with good lighting and audio and everything, and they were able to kind of utilize this kind of moment to say, hey guys, we've got this going, come in, grab this while you still can, so that way we can make sure everybody's abiding by the stay at home order, but go ahead and get this now, that way we can make sure that we're still able to take care of you when you're at home, and until we're able to see you again in person. So System of Strength, Fleet Feet, CBUS have been doing a great job of keeping their target audience moving, in shape, staying close to their mission and their core kind of reasons for existing, and they've been doing a really, really great job of it. Another thing when it comes to the fitness thing is like Grandview CrossFit. They've been doing a really great job of even if they don't have equipment to sell, or some hard products or online fitness classes that you can already pay a monthly fee for, they've been doing Instagram TV videos where you can go a little bit longer than the usual 1-minute video on Instagram. And the owner is updating, I believe, a daily workout video that you can follow along with every single day. And you've got members of CrossFit Grandview posting about it, sharing about it, thanking them so much for doing this, because it's so important right now for people to say, I want to stay in my routine, I want to make sure I'm still taking care of myself physically, and they're allowing them to give that kind of opportunity. On the other side of things, when it comes to our mental and physical health, is the mental health. Juan Alvarez is a good friend of mine and a client, and I'm a client of his, and he's a coach for CEOs and entrepreneurs when it comes to mindfulness and just kind of like overall well-being in your life, and making sure that you're living as successful as you want to be, and where you want to be in this present moment. And Juan decided that, hey, we're stuck inside. I'm not able to work outside of, in my studio anymore, or have my clients in face to face for our weekly meetings. Let me go ahead and plan a live guided meditation every day. So daily, he's doing 8 a.m. meditations on Instagram Live and an 8:30 p.m. Session on Instagram Live, and it's been incredible. I'm joining it now every morning at 8 a.m. It doesn't cost any money, but it's a great half an hour to kind of cut out of my morning routine to just kind of think about being present a little bit more, clearing my mind for for the topic at hand and what I need to do for the day. And again, it's another one of those things where Juan isn't actually, he's not generating revenue from it. He's not charging people to do it. He gives you an opportunity to, donate to his PayPal or his Venmo or something. But the big thing is just being able to connect with your audience, right? So he's building relationships right now when people need relationships more than anything, right? I'm realizing so much how important webinars and Zoom meetings and things like that are, because although I love my wife and my son, when they're the only two faces that I see, sometimes days on end, sometimes I need a little bit more communication and a little bit more socializing. So Juan's able to do that, provide for that, and I can almost guarantee that he's definitely going to get some new clients out of this, just because he's doing such a great job of keeping that communication open and building those relationships. So yeah, that's kind of what I had. Anybody else seen anything good, or trying to figure out ways for themselves to think of how they can connect with their customers?
I haven't, excuse me, I haven't had any questions yet. And on that same note, my apologies if you hear any background noise, the sounds of the young child variety. But no,
no worries.
We did just get a comment. Thank you for some examples of how to kind of, shift your thinking.
Definitely. All right, cool. So yeah, we'll keep rolling here. So yeah, and I think to end this kind of slide is really just kind of thinking of where can you go, what can you be doing to connect with your audience, whether it's revenue generated or not, right? I mean, obviously all of us are, we're trying to figure out how we can keep our businesses afloat and keep those things going. But at the end of the day, sooner or later, we're going to get to a point to where, we're going back to whatever the new normal is, right? And I think, in any state of mind, you always want to work for, new clients and new projects tomorrow. So the work that you put in today, I was always told me when I, sold used cars, 10 years ago, my manager always said, everything you do today is for a sale tomorrow. So working on those relationships, building those relationships now, and starting those conversations is so important today, because whether it's something like Fusion or Watershed, where they're bringing in new revenue immediately, or the next day from a delivery or a bottle of hand sanitizer, it's all about just building those things, meeting new people, being that face, and being top of mind. So that way, when it comes time for people to settle back down a little bit and the dust settles, okay, I really need to get on this project, or I really need this product or this service. You want to make sure that you're there for them when they do need you. All right, so last kind of section, kind of the second half of this is thinking about how you create the content, right? So maybe you've got an idea for for a webinar or a tutorial series, or maybe you're going to start a podcast or something, or just come up with some ways to to kind of keep your marketing going and moving forward. How do you create it, right? A lot of my clients, we've noticed here, has been during these times is when we're usually out at an event, capturing lifestyle photography or doing video or creating some kind of content, it always involves people, right? So how do we figure out a way to create the content we need to create to grab attention, start the conversation, and get our message out, but without having when we can't see people, right? When we have to abide by the stay-at-home order and make sure that everybody's staying safe. What can we do to execute on those ideas and those plans? So I want to kind of drop into that when it comes to what you can do at home, you know, depending on what size of your business is, or what to think about when you're, you know, hiring an agency or something like that to help you out with those content needs. So yeah, so we'll dive right into that. So thinking about what you need to create great looking content. You know, I've been on some webinars. I've seen some people, you know, there's been a lot of like concerts and stuff like that happening on Instagram Live and Facebook Live and stuff. And it boggles my mind how bad some of these, you know, multi-million-dollar, you know, making music artists are, how bad their quality of audio is. You know, it's like I've got a recording studio in my basement, but I'm gonna, you know, perform, you know, in my living room where I have no furniture yet and stuff like that. So it's been funny, but there's definitely a lot of things you can do at home when thinking about just having great visual audio content from the comfort of your own home, or you know, your office while you're there by yourself without needing a big production company and stuff. So running through those real quick, when it comes to video, you know, everybody has a smartphone, everybody's got great quality cameras right in their pocket or in their purse, and you can really do a lot of great things with that. You know, they're shooting music videos, they're doing full-on ad campaigns. We've all seen the, you know, the iPhone advertisement billboards of, you know, these massive giant things on the side of Orange Bell Media's building. You know, there's a lot of great things you can do with your phone, and you can get a lot of great quality. I think the big thing to think about is just where your location is for those things, and what are those couple of things that you can add to really enhance the quality. So when it comes to audio, you know, if you're doing any kind of webinar or you know, tutorial or some kind of video where you're going to be talking a little bit and doing something that's a little bit more informational, you definitely want to invest in at least a you know, a basic USB microphone. Micro Center has them. They're still open. They're considered an essential business. So, you know, Micro Center here in Central Ohio, if you're based here, has some really great options ranging from, you know, $30 to, you know, $300 for a microphone. But even something, you know, for, you know, $50 to $100 can really give you some great quality that's going to be far better than, you know, the little mic that's on your laptop or whatever. So thinking about some of those basic things, you know, you've got your phone, or you know, if you or a spouse is, you know, has, you know, is into photography as a hobby, you know, DSLR cameras these days do really great photos and really great video quality. So thinking about those two things when it comes to equipment for actually creating the content can get you really far. And when it comes to doing things at home, or you know, not in a big studio or doing those kinds of things, just trying to get as much natural light as possible. So looking for you know, if you have this cool corner that looks really nice, and you know, kind of fits your brand when it comes to the visual aesthetic of it, you know, and there just happens to be really great lighting right there, or setting up a corner next to, you know, next to a window that has really great light. Those are the things that you kind of want to look at for that, right? Be sure to use natural light as much as possible. And think about your background and what the scene is for, you know, shooting your video or taking some lifestyle photos or some product photos. Make sure that whatever you set up, I mean, it's amazing what you can do at your place, or, you know, going on a walk. You know, there's here in Grandview where I live, you know, they've just redone, you know, the Grandview yard, and there's tons of, you know, beautiful new houses and sidewalks and things like that to use for backgrounds and scenes, and those kind of environments are really great opportunities to do some stuff where, you know, it doesn't take a huge budget or anything, you know, fancy to go in there, or thousands and thousands of dollars of rental equipment or a production studio. A lot of things you can do by just utilizing your resources that you have. So some examples for that we'll hop into for some stuff. You know, I know when we talked about it before, right? Like when it comes to making and creating videos and that visual content, nowadays it almost seems like, you know, if you see a photo or a video with, you know, with a bunch of people next to each other, some people just can't help but get a little uncomfortable, you know, because we know that people need to stay healthy and they need to stay, you know, distant from each other to make sure we can get through this as easy and as smoothly as possible. So a good rule of thumb, especially right now, is to just kind of think about what your visual content is. If you're starting a blog, or if you're, you know, coming out with a new service and you need to, you know, find a way to promote it, how can we do that without having, a bunch of people next to each other, right? Sticking with behind the scenes type footage and photos of some of the process that goes into your service or creating your product is a great way to have some people in there, give it that lifestyle feel and that candid look without making people feel uneasy, right? And then you've got things that don't include anybody at all, right? So we've got some examples up here. The fresh delivery bundles, that was something we just did recently with the North Market. The North Market was able to figure out a new opportunity to deliver food from their merchants during these times, right? So they not only did they find a great opportunity and a shift into a new service that they could offer by teaming up with Coastal Local Seafood Delivery, but they're also now they've got a way to support their merchants that are there, because there's not a whole lot of people coming to the North Market because nobody's working downtown really these days. So that was a great opportunity, and we needed a way to promote it. So not only did we do a video of some of the individual merchants doing their things while keeping a safe distance to keep everybody safe and healthy, but we also wanted to do some fun stuff as well. So we cut out some hand lettering and did a fun little stop motion video animation of the little fresh delivery bundle sign going up and down with all the different types of products that you can get with it, along with the North Market tote that I think they did a thing where the first 10 people who place the order every week got a free North Market tote. So that was a way that we could do something that was engaging, it was eye-catching, and it was a great way to promote the new service that they had without having to worry about anybody being in there, right, or risk anybody's safety of getting too close. So some other things as well, a campaign we did for local men's grooming products company Cliff Original that we did a little while ago was, they wanted to do this Meatless Monday thing where it was just kind of promoting, eating meatless, at least once a week to kind of help with your, cardiovascular system and your overall health. So, we did a handmade typography piece, that again, no people involved, great way, eye-catching to kind of, grab people's attention to get them to start checking out those new posts, and it worked out really well, and it's fun and unique, So thinking about those ways to connect with your audience, do something that still fits with your brand, right? Like I think some people want to either automatically just okay, let me find a way to be helpful, or let me add some some positivity to your day by doing something goofy or something. Like, you want to make sure that whatever you're doing with your content and with your marketing is on brand and still fits, right? You don't want to force it too much, because people can definitely tell when you're not being authentic about that. So, but I think there's a lot of ways to stay true to yourself while adding value to the lives of your target customer, and doing something fun and unique with it. All right, so we'll keep going here. So when it comes to the services that you can use, right? Like, obviously we're super familiar with the Instagram and Facebook Live options. Those have been really fun. We did a music festival last year, and this year we've been working with music artists for the last 10 years or so, and we wanted to find a way for the community to still enjoy live music while still being able to support local musicians. So we did like this drive-in concert that was kind of like a drive-in movie theater, where we had, we invited 10 or 15 cars to pull up. Everybody stayed safe and distant in their cars. And, we had a little, pop-up concert happen the day before Governor DeWine announced the stay-at-home order. And thankfully, we were able to do a lot more and get this seen and experienced by a lot more than just the 10 people that showed up in their cars, by utilizing Instagram and Facebook Live. So, even though we only had, under 20 people there for the event itself, it was really focused on doing something for the community at home. So, it was able to be seen by thousands of people and hundreds of people, on Instagram, thousands of people on Facebook Live, and then we were able to create content from all that as well, to have videos and photos for future content. So I think thinking about those kind of things, utilizing those services, as well as trying to figure out ways to get a variety of different types of content from one kind of like main piece, right? So we do an event. We've got that. We're doing it on Instagram and Facebook Live, not just one of them. And then we're also doing photography and video for future stuff, for blog posts or press releases or whatever. Zoom, GoToMeeting, we're all familiar with those. Great opportunities right there and great services for really connecting with your audience and not in person, but at least face to face in some way, shape, or form. Great things to do and to utilize if there's something that you need to do that's educational or something like that. When it comes to design and video, we always want to make sure that regardless of what size your business is, you're able to produce content, right? So if you're a solopreneur, or if right now you're just not sure what to do when it comes to hiring agencies and things like that, because you don't really, none of us really know what's going to happen next month or the month after. There are some services like Canva, which is great for basic design layouts and things like that, where you can kind of drag and drop your images, add your logo, put your your messaging in there, and do something without needing to hire a big agency and stuff like that. For when it comes to video, Wave.video and Biteable.com both have great options for creating videos, where you're taking photos and it's putting it into kind of an animated slideshow, or you're recording video on your cell phone, uploading that, putting that on there, and saving you thousands of dollars potentially by being able to do it on your own. And even though those things are obviously going to be you're not going to get the experience of an agency, and sometimes the quality, right, when you're trying to shoot it yourself, it's really content is king, so depending on what that is, you want to get something out there to keep those conversations moving. And obviously at the end, when it comes to services and utilizing your resources, I can't stress enough, if you're in a position to to work with a local business, whether it be a design agency, production company, marketing company such as Matchbox, or somebody that's in your network, really working with those people. I mean, there's a ton of great studios out here in Columbus and throughout the country, doing really great work when it comes to photography, video, motion graphics, to where people can do it completely remotely, and you don't even have to, aside from a Zoom meeting or a phone call, those people can work and produce incredible pieces of content for your business without even having to leave their homes. So I think a lot of those things are great things to, that sometimes people don't realize are as easily accessible as they are. But definitely, think about how you can do those things for your own business. And no matter what size business you are, there's definitely a way to make it happen. All right, so that's all I got for the presentation. If there's any questions, I'll kind of wrap up with these key takeaways. If you have any questions, please put them in the chat here, and definitely happy to answer any of those things. But I think the big important thing is, and for me, to kind of give you an idea of where I kind of had the realization that businesses are really doing a lot of different things, right? Some of them are kind of taking the bull by the horns and making tons of changes and doing really incredible and actually growing their businesses during these times. And some just have no idea what to do, right? For me, I realized so much how important relationships are when all of this stuff happened and businesses were being closed and Governor DeWine announced the stay-at-home order. We had no idea what was going to happen with our clients, but because we've worked with our clients for years, and because we've focused so much on building great relationships with them, after talking to all of our clients, it was, hey, Josh, we love the work that you guys are doing for us. We want to make sure we're still supporting you. I know, some of our work is going to be, changing, and some of our work is going to be put on hold, but we want to make sure that we're still supporting you, and we don't want to stop that. So let's make sure that we're still able to work together in any shape that we can make happen right now, and we'll get through this together. So I think for me, that was just a huge hit of great realization that relationships with your customers are so important, because if I hadn't built those relationships with our clients, I'd be singing a very different tune right now. So I think that's just kind of like the big thing that I want you to take away from this is, no matter what you're doing, you don't want to just pretend like nothing is happening, right? Everybody is in their own boat. Everybody's in their own kind of priority and trying to figure out what's important to them and what they can do. But for us as business owners, we have the opportunity to do something about it, and to at least be somebody to talk to, or a sounding board if clients need to vent a little bit, or voice their frustrations with whatever it is. I think now is the time to really build those relationships, strengthen the ones that we already have, and make sure we're just being good people. It's always a good time to be human and to be authentic. And, I think we need to show that in our businesses, right? Like, let's not just pretend like nothing's going on and just make sure people keep buying our beer or these candles we have, right? Like, let's see if we can do something about it. And it doesn't mean you have to, donate 50,000 masks to first responders and stuff, which if you're able to 100% do your thing and make it happen. But I think there's a lot of things we can do with the resources we have now, and no matter what situation you're in, to make a difference and to keep building those relationships. So yeah, I think that's about it for me. If you guys have any questions, please put those in there, and I think we'll wrap it up. Hopefully I didn't babble on too long.
No, I think that was great. Thank you, Josh. It doesn't look like we have any questions right now, but if anybody has a question, please feel free to let us know. If you think of a question later, you can reach out to me, and I can make sure that I get those questions funneled over to Josh. As I mentioned at the beginning, we did record this, so that will be available for you to take a look back at. I think there were some really great suggestions and examples in here. So we will have that available on our trustlocal.org website. And again, please let us know how we can help in the future, what kind of your needs are. I think everything's going to kind of be changing, as the weeks roll on. So our needs are probably going to be a little different in the future than they are now. So please don't hesitate to reach out to us and let us know. But if anybody has any questions, I don't see any questions right now. So I think, I'll just say thank you again, Josh. This was fantastic. And if
My pleasure.
Yeah, thank you. And I'm just going to go ahead and say everybody stay safe and be well, and I think we'll end it on that note.
Great, thanks so much. We'll see you guys.
Thanks again. Okay, take care.
Thanks. You too. Bye.
Bye-bye.